This is your boy p8e. You're checking out the Home Invasion Show, Ottawa, Canada. Check me out, p8e Music, pretty much everywhere. Give me a shout.
What's up? It's Livin Large coming at you live for the Home Invasion Show. It's been a big, long minute. No studio sessions, COVID-19, everybody on lockdown. But we here, we trying to do it, we trying to move on, we trying to keep it going strong in all of this. But we got a special guest in the house calling in. So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, brother?
All right, man. p8e Music. I go by p8e, which basically just means Pat. From a small town, Fort area, Ontario, outside Niagara Falls, Ontario, and pretty much did music all my life. A lot of bands, a lot of beats, a lot of music.
How long you been in the industry for, I guess, like making music?
Since probably the mid-90s. The first professional CD I recorded was in 1997 in British Columbia.
That's crazy, man. So you've been in the business then?
Oh, yeah.
Crazy shit.
I started making beats probably around 1996, 1997, but I didn't think of myself as a hip-hop producer until probably early 2000s. What
made you change your mind? Like, what got that in mind?
Well, I don't know. As you're going, you always think that you're the shit, but then when you make new shit, you realize how shitty your old shit was, so you humble yourself.
So progression pretty much, huh?
Yeah, definitely, but I spent many years trying to send people beats and just get no reply, and you're constantly saying why isn't anyone messing with my beats? So you're on a quest to make those hot beats.
Right.
Even still to this day. Because you either have to completely latch onto a trend and steal someone else's flavor, or you got to work with artists that have a common final vision and you can make music with them, right?
For sure.
Perfect example, LaForty.
Yeah, shout out to the homie, LaForty. He's the one that hooked everything up together, you know? So much love.
So LaForty's my business manager, but I produced all his shit. So we have a back and forth relationship.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. Well, today is 420, and you got an album dropping?
Just came out at midnight.
Boom, there you go. Why don't you tell the listeners a little about
it? p8e Music, p8e from Mars. Bunch of different vibes on it. There's some old school hip hop stuff with my buddy Eclipse from Niagara Falls. There's some R&B, laid back, slow, jammy, spacey stuff. And then there's some kind of, I guess, new school hip hop, electronic sounding type shit. Something for everyone, I think.
That's dope.
Yeah, man. It takes you on a bit of a journey, start to finish. It's not too personal, but there's some personal lying things through there. I think there's a lot of things people can relate with.
Word up, man.
There's some things that, listening to it now after the situation we're in, I think people will relate to it, even though it wasn't really meant for that. But that's dope, too.
That's dope, man. I'm excited. I want to hear this album now. You know what I mean?
Awesome, bro.
Why don't you tell the listeners where they could hear the album now that it dropped?
So it's definitely on Spotify now. Sometimes iTunes takes a little bit longer, but pretty much anywhere where you get digital music. I'm even going to upload it to SoundCloud. And if none of that works for you, they can find me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, and I'll email you a copy. It's all good, man.
That's what's up.
For the love of music.
We'll definitely post up all your links. So it's not just going to be like on audio only, you know what I mean? We'll put up all the links there, put it in writing, and get them directed straight to you, you know?
That's what's up.
Yeah. Now, in terms of the release date and like even the title, From Mars, why don't you tell us what the significance behind everything is?
Well, kind of making some spacey tunes. A lot of Kush involved in making the tunes. And I was just in that sort of vibe, that spacey atmosphere. Was not trying to fit into anything on this, so a lot of the beats are just kind of what happened, and when I love a beat, lyrics just fall out. When I don't love a beat, it goes into the beat folder. But when I wasn't even planning on doing the project, it just came out of nowhere, like came from space. was just really vibing with the space theme of the whole thing, and LaForty and myself were talking about titles, and that's what we ended up on.
That's what's up, man. Now, in terms of the release date, why'd you pick 420 of all them days?
It just fell in the perfect time. We put the first single out, and I wanted to get the rest of the album out as soon as possible. And there was no better date than 420.
Right.
Actually, there's been 2 or 3 other projects that released on 420 previous years. My song with JD Era came out on 420, 2014, I believe.
That's dope.
Shout out JD Era.
Right.
You can find our shit on iTunes and Spotify also. This track's called Got Me Lifted, and that's a straight up Kush 420 banger.
Something to smoke to.
Know it.
All right. Now, what did you do different on your new album from Mars compared to the releases that you've done before this?
I think creatively, I was always trying too hard lyrically or with the beats, trying to it needs to be this kind of album, or I want to do a trap style album, or trying to fit in. And I guess now that I'm getting old and really don't give a shit, I wanted to make something that I wanted to bump every day.
That's what's up.
And where before, in my head, it was always like, I think the people will love this, you know?
Right.
And a lot of rappers and beat makers, I think, if you were making it for yourself only, I think you could let a lot more creativity come out.
I hear that.
Especially with new guys, it's just the same stuff over and over.
Yeah, it's definitely a regurgitation, I feel.
You can only drip so much.
For sure.
No offense. If you said drip 75 times in your song, that's cool and shit, but
I mean, nowadays there's not even any rhyme chains or schemes or metaphors, nothing. You know what I mean?
They don't even try.
At all.
The word got out that Jay-Z doesn't write shit down, and then now everyone thinks it's okay.
Yeah, crazy shit.
Write that shit down.
That's what's up, man. But yeah, you saying you weren't really before you were chasing the wave, but now you're creating your own wave, and that's what's up, man. That's respectable right there.
Yeah, exactly. And if people, it's like vibes. If people can feel the vibe that I was feeling, then I won. Regardless if I ever find us out and we have no way of identifying that vibe, but you know, if you're feeling something from music, there's nothing more powerful than that.
That's 100 right there. That's 100.
And there's so much music out there again.
Yeah.
There's so much music out everywhere. What makes the listener want to listen to that song again? Like, yeah, that could be a great track, but what makes it become a part of your music collection? And that's what I'm always thinking.
Yeah, I know about everybody else.
Just a single.
Most definitely, you know, but me, like, I don't know about everybody else, but for me, like, if I can actually, like, to me, I say a dope track isn't a track that you hear, you actually feel it. It makes you feel something. It makes you feel some type of way, you know? So if I'm listening to something and I catch feelings to it, you know what I mean? Whether it gives me, like, anger vibes, or whether it gives me some of that love vibes, some of the sad vibes, whatever it is, if I feel something to it, then that's a dope track right there. That's real music, you know?
Definitely. And in the 90s, it was the way those beats hit you.
Yeah.
When you heard that classic string over those hard beats that would suck you in right away.
Most definitely.
I listened to music for years without even paying attention to what the lyrics were.
Mm-hmm.
I'd listen to the song 100 times, and then finally I'd be like, oh shit, he says that there?
Yeah.
But I'm just hearing the patterns on top of the beat and the flow making the final instrument on the jazz record.
Most definitely.
So it's got to become a classic in my iTunes collection, but before I even start paying attention to what's going on lyrically.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I never became a huge lyrical MC, where I love to play with words more than I really don't need to get my message across if you're enjoying the song itself.
Yeah, I mean, to me, you don't gotta rhyme 100 words together and like come up with some crazy metaphors. Again, it goes back to what I said. You know, if you're a storyteller, you got it. You know, if you get somebody to feel some type of way when you make a track, you got it. You know what I mean? To me,
right.
That's good music. I don't want to hear somebody trying to spit and fit as many bars as possible. Shit like that, you know what I mean? To me, it's like, all right, we get it. You're a good MC, you're a good rapper, but give us something that we can relate to. Give us something that we can feel.
And it's been done so much, and that's that's one of the biggest problems with all of this is, unfortunately, to move forward, you have to start by mimicking, but it's like what you and I talked about previously. It's so easy to get a laptop and start rhyming over a beat, and you're a rapper all of a sudden.
Yeah.
Where back in the day, that was not an option. And that's why everything that came out of the classic era is all just gold, because all those guys, you had no choice but to hone your craft, or you don't even dare spit in front of people.
For sure. There was quality control, I feel, back in the early, the 90s and the late 80s and shit. Quality control before people step in, because it's money, right? It's business, right? Before they step into a studio and spend all that money, they want to make sure everything's 100 before they do it.
But a positive in modern day is it has leveled the playing field, and it has given everyone a chance. So if it's something if you really want to do it, there's a way to do it.
For sure. Accessibility, 100. Exactly. You know what I mean? Now, you don't have to have a big-time distribution deal nowadays. You can pretty much push it yourself.
Exactly. That's what LaForty and myself do. He started a record label, and we've just been running with it.
For sure. It's crazy shit.
It's fun. You got to do it because you love it.
Yeah, and when you do it yourself, you're doing it proper. You know what I mean? Because the saying goes, if you want it done right, you do it yourself.
Definitely.
Fuck. I know this album pretty much just came out like 2 hours ago, but so far, what's the reception been like?
the one tune we've been playing for a good month now, it's called Frig Yeah Thumbs Up, and people have been loving it. It's a little bit different than anything, I guess. It's,
is that the clean track title? What is it actually called? Tell us.
No, it's actually called that. So
okay.
You're making small talk with somebody on Facebook, and they kind of don't want to talk to you anymore, so they just give you that thumbs up.
Yeah.
I hate the fucking thumbs up. So I was making a beat, and as I was naming the beat, somebody gave me a thumbs up, and I wrote back to them, Frig yeah, thumbs up. And then that's what I named the beat, and then that just kept going in my head, and then it was just a lot of the lines in it are sarcastic.
That's dope. All right.
So yeah, it's like inside jokes for myself, I guess. But the video turned out pretty dope, and the beats, it's pretty energetic. So I think people are digging it, and I think people are digging some of the punchlines in it.
That's what's up.
And there's lots of half-naked eye candy in the video, so it's fun to watch too.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right. If you search Frig Yeah in iTunes, it pops right up.
Well, I mean, I was just about to say, if y'all catching this interview on YouTube, I'll put I'll link the music video at the end on the end screen annotation or whatever. So right after this interview, y'all can just click that end screen and go straight to the music video.
That's what's up.
There you go. So the reception's been good then, huh?
Yeah, and I've been playing. I'm doing a live stream show, and I've been playing a lot of it live, and people were definitely excited for it to come out.
You're doing that live stream on your Instagram or what else?
Doing it from an app called Bigo Live.
Okay. Now, for those people that do have that app, how can they find you so they can follow you?
Just search p8e music.
Boom.
And lately I've been going every night at 11 p.m. Tonight, I was the number 3 in Canada, so it was a pretty good show.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's fun. Just play a lot of my own tracks. I've got a couple albums from 2009, 2010 that still, they stood the test of time, because when you play them, people still love them. They got that classic vibe.
Most there.
Those might hit iTunes again. They were on the internet, then they kind of got buried, so I don't even know where you can find them now. Maybe on like Dat Piff or something. One's called the Triforce, and one's called GI Flow.
Okay. All right. There's a lot of internet sleuths out there, so hey, man, somebody bound to find it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of unclearable samples on it, so I don't know how much of it can hit like iTunes and shit, but
I hear that. Shit.
I don't care what I sample. If I want to, I'll sample it.
It's all good, I guess.
If it becomes a hit and they want to sue me, then that's a good thing too.
Yeah. I mean, you read that article with that dude that sued, who was it, Katy Perry, I think it was, for Dark Horse?
Oh, really?
Yeah, nobody knew. It was like some Christian rapper, I think it was. He ended up suing her, and nobody knew who he was. But now, because he sued her, everybody knows him.
Yeah, it goes both ways. But I mean, if people are talking about you that much, and it's only off that one song, then you got a fucking problem. So I mean, if someone's chirping me for a stolen sample, then that means I'm doing pretty good somewhere else anyways.
Hey, there you go. Shit. Now,
I'm not scared to lose my beats. I give away beats a lot, whatever.
Okay. So if anybody were to hit you up and say, hey, I want some beats, you gonna just give it up to them like that?
There are a bunch of beats in a couple folders that if they want to fuck with some beats, I will give them some beats, no problem. Again, hit me on p8e music pretty much anywhere.
Boom, there you go.
If I gotta make it or you're barking orders at me, then you're putting me on the clock. But
yeah,
if it's a hard drive beat all day, no worries. Plus, you hit my SoundCloud, there's a ton of beats. YouTube, there's beats. I got a lot of beats.
Shit, there you go.
Floating around.
All right. Again, we'll link it all up. So anybody that's curious or anybody that wants to hear it, the SoundCloud would be up. All of that good stuff will be up.
Awesome.
Yeah. So your new album, From Mars, how long has it been in development for?
Not too long. It was probably started 5 months ago.
Okay.
Yeah, it just kind of popped out of nowhere. I was making beats heavy. I go in phases. So last summer I was the drummer in a rock band all summer, so I wasn't really doing a lot. And then that band died out, and I started making beats heavy. And then they started trickling in. When you make a beat you absolutely love, and you're like, okay, that's mine. And then end up doing some shit on it. It was a fun project with no expectations, and it turned out awesome, and it made me want to put it out.
All right. At what point, like, you got to like track 3, and then you realize, you know what, this is some crazy shit I'm putting out. Let me put it all together, make a full album. Like, what's up?
Yeah. You know what? I think I had to get about 5-6 tracks in to realize I had a whole project, because the first 2 songs are with my buddy Eclipse, and they weren't really. When it started, there was no vision of the completed project. So once I got to about track 5 or 6, I was like, oh shit, I got those songs, I got these songs, and then I made 2 other songs specifically for the project after it became a project.
That's what's up. All right. There's 8 tracks, huh? All together?
8 songs, yeah.
There you go.
There was a single put out, so to put the single on the album, I did a remix. So the remix is on the album, and it's got some drum drops and some weird shit going on.
Okay.
There's also a DJ pack floating around for that. That's got the instrumental a cappella and a clean version for the radio, and both dirty versions. So there's 5 files in the zip folder.
Both, as in like the original and the remix?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's something they used to do back in the 90s a lot. You know,
exactly.
You watch a music video for a single, and then when you go out to buy the album where that single came off of, the beat is totally different, or sometimes the rap is totally different. You're like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah.
And it was also amazing to buy records when you get the B-side of a Nas song and they give you the instrumental.
Yeah.
Because we would load that into our digital recorder and then make our own version over top of that beat. So a lot of those 90s records had, you flipped it and it was the instrumental, clean mix, and a cappella.
Now it's all DJ packs.
DJ packs, yeah. I don't know how many people do that anymore.
Yeah, you know what? It's crazy because now these up-and-coming artists, like I went to a radio convention not too long ago, and it's pretty much teaching people how to get music onto the radio stations and shit. Most of them did not know what a DJ pack was.
Fair enough, yeah.
You know, and it's not their fault. To be honest with you, like literally, it's not their fault. It's not like you can go to class for this, or it's not like you look up to somebody where they can teach you like this. You know what I mean? So it actually blew their mind when we were all sitting together and telling them about DJ packs and making like clean versions and shit like this, and naming like even down to naming your files. You know, naming them correctly and shit.
Oh yeah.
You know, basics.
Well, I could offer up my class, but who's got 20 years to learn it?
Man, you can put out an Amazon book.
You know.
Crazy.
But my knowledge shared will save anyone 10 years, you know?
Of course.
I took the bullets and made all those mistakes for guys that I work with now to not have to if they trust what I'm doing.
I hear you. Well, here's an interesting question, man. Taking all those bullets and making those mistakes, what's one thing you wish you knew back in the day when you first started that you knew now?
That's a tough one.
Yeah?
I guess just time management.
Okay.
The guys that make it, the Kanyes and guys like that you're obsessive compulsive and you shut out everything for your goal.
I hear that.
But I mean, if
You're listening to the Home Invasion Show. Don't forget it with Livin Large. I'm your boy Jamel Thomas. Represent NDR Squad. New tracks coming out. Stay tuned.
So you had that quote about Pornhub and PlayStation and shit. Why don't you go ahead and say that again, man? That was gold.
oh man, that was like 2 minutes ago. My point was time management. There's nothing wrong with those things. Those are both wonderful things, but to really hone your craft, you got to sacrifice some things.
Word up, crazy shit. All right, well, I mean, you rap, you sing, you're a drummer in a band, you produce, you wear a lot of different hats, man. Which one do you prefer over the other, and why is that?
That's another really tough one. I absolutely love wearing the producer hat, but I think to really understand it, I had to wear all the other hats. I'd love to work with other producers that took the wheel and just ran with it. I'm sure that opportunity will come, but right now I've pretty much self-produced everything that we've put out.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I can't answer that one. If I really had to pick, I guess, producing, I get to play everything still anyways. Guitar is up there too, hands down.
Shit, there you go. I didn't even know you were on the guitar tip neither, but...
Yeah, I played all the guitars on all the 40 stuff.
That's what's up, man. How many instruments do you play?
Pretty much everything except for saxophone and violin.
Okay. Shit, so you just like Prince pretty much, because Prince was on that tip too.
Yeah, Prince is an unbelievable guitar player.
Underrated.
Very.
Yeah.
Just if you saw his live stuff, he ripped guitar solos, but he was conservative on his records.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, it's a whole different beast, you know, being on stage and performing live and shit like that. You get that creative juices flowing and you just want to sometimes bust it out, you know?
Definitely. Especially guitar solos, because you get 2 minutes in that your 3rd to 7th minute when you're going, something takes over and you start hitting riffs that you didn't even know you could do.
For sure.
Well, me personally anyways, I can play blues guitar for hours and hours.
All right. That's what's up, man. Well, I mean, you know, since we're talking about performing live and on stage, you've opened up for Exhibit, Tech 9, D12, and even some Canadian legends like Mocha Only, Swollen Member, Peter Jackson. Out of everybody you shared the stage with, who was your favorite?
Oh, man.
All right, if favorite is something you can't, like, what, someone memorable, which one was the most memorable act you opened up for?
Well, I was a little starstruck by Tech 9, I guess, because we walked into a burger joint to get some food, and when we sat down, he was eating his shit right beside us, so that was pretty fucking awesome.
That's insane.
And he was pretty cool. He just seemed like a nice dude.
Yeah, he seemed like he on that humble tip, you know, especially being an independent artist and shit like that. I guess it comes with the territory.
And there was something pretty cool about seeing D12 and opening for them.
Was this when Proof was alive?
No Proof and no Eminem, but it was the rest of them on tour, and they had some other dudes with them filling in for the missing slots. Or they would just like cut the track short if every guy wasn't on it, sort of deal.
I hear you.
That was pretty dope. Exhibit was pretty dope. Smaller members, I think I opened up for them twice, and then Mocha Only by himself once.
When you opened up for them, was Mocha Only with them or not?
No, it was always separate.
Okay.
They hadn't quite squashed the beef yet or something.
Yeah, they got some internal beef. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not too sure either.
Yeah, nah, they heavy private with it, you know what I mean? So, that's cool. That's dope.
Yeah, that's awesome. Somebody just told me Madchild put out some new shit that was actually pretty cool, worth checking out.
All right.
I kind of like everything he puts out. I don't know.
I mean, whether you like him or you hate him, that dude's definitely a Canadian legend. He's a staple in Canadian hip-hop.
Agreed. For sure. Shout out Canadian hip-hop, man. There's some guys I really look up to.
Word up, man. I believe
weird
in that
as you
saying.
get older, guys that are younger than you still look up to.
Yeah, it is what it is, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we gravitate towards each other and we learn from each other and we emulate each other, I guess, you know what I mean? So, Yeah, I was saying, I was like, yo, I'm a firm believer in that quote when they were saying hip-hop is dead back in the days when Nas put out that track. Canada started coming out with t-shirts talking about hip-hop ain't dead, it just lives in the North. I believe in that. I'm with
That's
that.
right. Some classic stuff out of Canada for sure.
Word up. And it's crazy because, like, I don't think Canadian hip-hop is being pushed as much as it should, like, as it was back in the 90s, you know? We had, like, much vibe and shit like this, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the way everything's changed. The only way for a Canadian artist to truly break is to go tour the States and get big in the States first. Because if you can't pop in the States, no one from your hometown will even take you seriously.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Kind of the success of Drake, how he made his machine is he got it popping right off in the States before Toronto would even talk about him.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of helped with Degrassi too. So he was already sort of, you know, out there.
Exactly. He was smart because he used that as his machine to keep it moving.
Yeah, he springboarded from that.
Yeah, I know you said you weren't playing, you don't play his shit or whatever, but he does have some really classic joints, man.
I'm gonna let you tell it. You know, I never was big into Drake like that, so.
Yeah, no, that's fair, and I understand why too. And I had a couple people that I worked with before, like, because they only had his radio hits to base their impression off of. But I was like, man, there's a few like classic dope Drake tracks out there, and he's got some stuff with like JD Era and Bishop Brigante from like 1999 or I don't know, early 2000s. That's like,
yeah, back when they were bumping, I guess.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, I guess.
Cool to hear the evolution of the production. When other producers had him, they were multi-tracking his vocals, and in modern day, you never hear an overdub on a Drake track.
God damn. You know, me, one major thing that turned me off from his music was back when, if you remember Socrates, he signed with Def Jam, and that was like the biggest success story in Canada. And then all of a sudden, this dude comes in and just overshadows everything and pretty much makes it seem like the history books is written by the winners, right? And I guess at this point, Drake is the winner, and that's what the history is written about and shit like this. I'm like, so you guys are totally going to disregard Socrates and his accomplishments and his achievements when he rolled up on Def Jam and shit like this. You guys not even going to talk about that shit at all?
But it seems like nothing happened after that.
Exactly, because the guy got shelved. He wasn't used. It was just, they signed him on. It's almost like when Dr. Dre signed Rakim to Aftermath. It's Rakim, but they never used Rakim at all.
Because like if you look at stats, you'd have to put Cardinal Official above Socrates, right?
Canadian hip hop.
If you're talking pre-Drake Canadian hip hop.
Yeah.
I thought Sunreal was gonna blow up way harder too. I don't know if you ever checked him out.
Yeah, I heard some joints here and there.
But for a minute, he was like underground, authentic, and then it kind of went to kiddie pop or something.
Yeah, me, I kind of like the tracks that I heard was the underground ones, and then all of a sudden I heard some of his new shit, and it just turned me off. I'm like, yo, this is not for me, you know. And it's a damn shame because I think he was messing with
Rich Kid.
Yeah, Rich Kid. There you go.
Boom, fucking fire. He's one of the fucking sickest beat producers.
Yeah, still to this day.
Yeah, he's good, man. I wish he would do more shit.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Shout out Rich Kid.
Like, shout out Canadian hip hop, period, man.
Yeah, man.
Shit.
Shout out anyone creating right now.
Yeah, especially in this COVID-19 nonsense, you know. Everybody been doing stage performances from their houses and shit like this, going live. That's love.
Every night at 11 p.m.
Yeah. Keeping the entertainment going.
Time in.
Right?
Yeah. You know what? If you can not think about some bullshit for a couple hours, then I did my job.
Word up. My goodness. All right,
People
well.
need it.
Yeah, you know, a lot of people feeling isolated, a lot of people feeling lonely, a lot of people, you know, their anxiety's flaring and shit like this. So they definitely do need it, man.
Definitely.
Word up. Now, considering all your achievements, is there anything else goal-wise you want to do?
I used to never care, but now I want a couple awards, man.
Yeah.
Working on a Niagara Music Award, and maybe June in a couple of years would be pretty hot. Some for my kids to look at. I don't know, whatever it may be.
I hear that.
Even what we got from your show in December was bomb, man. That was a great thing.
Hell yeah. Best Canadian R&B of 2019. La 40. I am La 40.
Yeah, man.
You know?
Gotta check that out. That's available everywhere. La 40 stuff is just like some fun music.
Yeah, it was definitely on like summer vibe-ish, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Kind of hard. There's so many flavors in it. It's kind of hard to label what the hell it is. Like funky, dancey, but kind of there's some hip hop in there. There's just a lot of different flavors. We put no rules into the direction of where the songs went.
What up?
Yeah, brother.
All right. I'm not gonna take up your time any longer.
Thanks for having me. Happy 420.
My man. Have a good night, eh?